We wait. Hey y'all. Welcome. I just got inspired to I'm live on here. Hey. Hey y'all, I just got inspired to go live with a Virgo season live reading. How y'all feeling? I'm feeling good. If you didn't have an ego death during Leo season, what was you doing? Because I had several. All right, we got a Gemini in LA, we got Aries in Denver, a Aries Sun, Cancer rising. What up, y'all? So you guys know whenever I go live, I always say drop your city, drop your zodiac sign. I'm live streaming in 3 different locations. I'm on hoesarehealers on Instagram, the only Instagram account that I can go live on because I'm blocked from going live on Majnuni Confessions and Sacred Stripper. And I'm double streaming over here. Hey, y'all. I'm double streaming over here to YouTube and Facebook. Yeah, my YouTube is Sacred Stripper. All my IG baddies, make sure you follow Sacred Stripper on YouTube. Subscribe. I have a lot of readings on there, and I post exclusive content on there. And you can follow me on Facebook too. It's facebook.com/peaceprincess1111. All right, y'all, let's get into it. We got Pisces in Virginia Beach. Hey, boo. Yeah, I'm real high tech with it now. Like, y'all should see my setup. It is so good. Because some of y'all have been rocking with me for a minute when I was like filming grainy videos in the dark in the attic when I first started. I keep getting Buddha right now. So that's why I tell y'all and I ask y'all to follow me on different platforms, because with IG, even Facebook, sometimes it's kind of iffy. Like, we're going to have to get comfortable with like more and more outages and just, taking time off of social media, because it's what they try to do is like they try to get you addicted and then snatch it away from you so that you just can't function without it. So we got to make sure that we have our connections and ways to get in touch and get a hold of each other, and stay connected to those important people in a lot of different ways. Yeah, like over here, it keeps glitching. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, let me know how the connection is for you. All right, so let's get into it. Tips are appreciated. If you love her, you should tip her. I'm really going to start off with just this first card that I've been sitting with this card for a while. This is from the Dark Goddess Oracle deck. Let me grab it so you guys can see. I'm going to grab a couple decks while I'm up here so we can pull some cards. And I will also do some personal pulls too, if anybody wants a special message at the end before we get off. So just grab me a couple decks. Hey y'all. Hey. I had this chair on Amazon, but I put the fairy wings on it. So the Dark Goddess Oracle deck is a new deck, and I love it so much. You guys are gonna love this deck if you enjoy working with the goddesses. These are all the underworld goddesses and deities from many different cultures. It's very diverse, and it tells the story of these goddesses, and it gives you a message from them. So with this card, Revenge, we're getting our revenge right now, and it doesn't look like how people think revenge is supposed to look. They say the best revenge is living well. It's so true. And this revenge is not like necessarily, making people pay for what they've done to us, but it's the revenge of living well and letting our dreams come true, letting all the things that we desire most come to us. and being open, ready, and willing to receive them. All those bad times of depression, feeling like you gave too much, you weren't respected, you weren't appreciated, you weren't adored, you were gaslit or told that it was one thing when it was really the other, you were lied to, you weren't accepted for who you are. All those experiences and things, they're in the past. If they're current for you, they're on the way out. It's not really where we're at anymore. We're more empowered, we're more leading our lives, and we're feeling feeling solid on our square, feeling safe and secure in our skin. So I hope that you on Facebook and YouTube can see me, because it keeps doing weird stuff over here. Another thing with technology, especially with this season in particular, it's only going to get weirder. We're going to head into spooky season. It's only going to get weirder. But you're going to notice a lot of technological malfunctions. A lot of it has to do with your energy. So if your energy is depleted, you might like zap energy from your devices. And if you notice that you're using your phone and then all of a sudden the battery just drains immediately, you want to check in with your internal battery. Are you plugged into your source? Are you plugged into your center? It's a such thing as an energy vampire. An energy vampire steals energy from other people. But the most efficient way to get energy is just to like plug into your source. If you are a human being and you have an internal energy source, you can do that. So if you don't feel it or you can't really connect to that, just set the intention to connect to that. Like, I plug back into me. I am open to receiving my own energy. I let my energy flow through my body, and let that happen. Mm-hmm. What is y'all talking about? Yes. Yes, y'all. So I've been working on my Reiki class. For those of you guys who have been asking about the class, I'm transferring it to a self-paced, downloadable digital class with a self-initiation. So you will be able to initiate yourself into Heaven on Earth Reiki 1 and 2 and certify yourself. This is what we need. We need this. We really need this, because a lot of people in our community aren't really comfortable being guided or working with a teacher. There's just too much trauma there, and I can only work with so many people as one person when there's like so many more that need this support. So it's pretty exciting. I told you guys I was gonna do this, and I tried to like go back on it and then come back and then go back on it, but like it's happening. It's really happening. So I've just been putting in work behind the scenes to get that ready for you guys, and as soon as it comes out, you'll know. I have a deadline in my head that I've set, but I don't want to announce it because I'm just gonna do like a Beyonce drop on you guys and then bam. But what I've been slowly releasing some things that I've been working on, like the guide to intuitive screening, and the guide for healing adult industry sexual trauma. So these are 2 free resources that you guys can get from heavenonearthreiki.org. The guide to intuitive screening is basically just like how to use your intuition for screening. It also gives you some advice for screening, but if you join the sex workers only section of the Heaven on Earth app, then we have even more advice in there. But it's only open to sex workers. You have to like verify who you are before you can join that group, because we discuss sensitive topics in there. Anybody can join the app. The app is open to allies. The app is open to community members. You don't have to say, hey, I'm a hoe or I'm an escort or stripper to join the app. It's open to everybody. But for those private spaces, then you do have to let us know who you are. It's a great space to be in. People are very supportive. If you're a spiritual entrepreneur or a spiritual worker or just very into spirituality, it's a great place for you to be. It's a great place for you to offer your services to other people that need them. A lot of people do trades. So if you're practicing or you're trying to get more comfortable in a certain modality, you can go in there and trade. And we have special events, like we have group Reiki healing sessions together, group meditations, group therapy, which is peer supported, holistic healing sessions. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Gonna clear energy a little bit before we get started. Honestly, like, wasn't gonna do readings like this on hoesarehealers page anymore, because I was trying to organize the platforms, like have specific things for specific places. But because this is the only page on Instagram that I can go live at, and I am going live, I want to maximize the time. Like if I'm going to go live on Facebook and YouTube, I'm definitely going to go live on hoesarehealers too. And I know that it's a lot going on right now. A lot of people are very stressed out. Things are getting really tough. So I'm going to do my best to provide you guys with some support in these times. Just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Like it's not it's not a reading is not a imposition on you. It's just to support you in making your own decisions. You should not make decisions like solely based on what somebody else tells you. Okay? We got to have critical thinking and cultivate discernment and knowledge for ourselves and realize that there's a lot of information on the internet and it's not all for you. If you're following a bunch of readers, every reading is not for you. Maybe it is, but just don't try to make a square peg fit into a round hole. Just don't. Like, just let it be what it is. Some things are not for you. They might be for you to tell other people. Or it might be, you know, a situation that might be familiar to you, but it's not your situation. So DC is the goddess that's representing revenge in this deck. And I'm just going to read a little bit about her. This deck is such a good primer for different underworld goddesses and shadow goddesses across different cultures. I highly recommend it. So each goddess has an incantation, and her incantation is boiling point, must seek revenge, destroyed, this act must be avenged, stop, retract, time think twice, forgive, move on, or pay the price. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. So this goddess is of Indian origin. It says she wanted a son more powerful than Indra, who had killed her previous children. Okay, but instead, Indra used a thunderbolt to splinter the fetus into many pieces. It's so interesting because her mythology is talking about like splintering factions, partitions, breaking things apart. If you guys remember last year for the Virgo new moon, we did an energy healing. We did a group energy healing on healing the brain from PTSD. Does anybody remember that? So we're getting the culmination of the effects of that healing now. What's happening is that when trauma occurs, different parts of our soul splits off into different fragments. This is how possession can occur very easily, because those soul fragments that split off can easily become possessed by outside entities. This is most noticeable with our wounded inner child. So we have this like pain body, sad, wounded, depressed inner child that has made friends with the monster under her bed or under his bed or their bed. And nobody can really get close to that child, because if they try, the monster comes out and the monster fights them off. And this monster was used to protect you. You needed protection. You know, when these types of things are created, it's out of a necessity. So it was the right thing to do. You did the right thing. You did what you were supposed to do. You protected yourself. You created a reality in which you could be protected. Even if you didn't have anybody that was giving you the support and the protection that you needed, you created and called in and made space for someone to do that. So these are often like major obstacles later in life when we want to make advancements in professional and personal relationships, because we are still guarded by that pain body and that demon that doesn't want to let anybody get close to us, because he remembered what happened the last time. Like, he knows what happened when he wasn't there to protect us, and he's not going to let that happen again. But he can't come with us on this part of our journey, because he's going to end up messing things up. He's going to see danger where there's not danger, and he's going to fight people who aren't our enemies, and he's going to hurt those who have been sent to heal us if we let him do his thing. This is the energy that is blocking so many of us from the financial abundance and wealth and wellness that is there for us, emotional wellness. But it's a bittersweet, because it's an ending of everything that we know, and it's a need to let go of what we have held close and what has kept us alive. And there's so much wrapped up in that. It's a whole grieving process. It's like dying. It feels like you're dying. It might even look like you're dying, and you are dying to yourself, and there are parts of you that are dying to yourself, and then there's entities and outside energies that are dying to you also. They don't have to go home, but they can't stay here. They can transmute to zero gravity point. In Islamic healing, known as ruqya, the same root word as Reiki. That's why we acknowledge that Reiki and energy healing is practiced all over the world, and it's called by different names. And in ruqya, it's known that a lot of times when an entity invades your body, they get into your body and then they break themselves apart into fragments, into pieces. And that's how they're really able to operate and work efficiently and effectively, because one piece could be in your brain, another piece could be in your hand, another piece could be in your foot, another piece could be in your hip. So you can't grab the financial abundance that's coming to you because it's blocking, a fragment of the entity is blocking it. You can't access your creative center because a fragment of the entity is blocking it. You can't feel safe and comfortable completely in your body because a fragment of the entity is blocking it. You can't move forward with your foot because the fragment of the entity is blocking it. And in order for the entity to leave your body completely, it has to come back together first. It's a lot of different things that has to happen for that to occur. Only you will know what those things are. And sometimes those things are seeking out help, and you will know who to go to that can help you. because you know what you need. So you might not always know the answer of what herbs am I supposed to drink, and what spiritual bath do I need to take, and what prayers do I need to say, and what crystals do I need. You might not always know those answers, but they will come to you, or someone who can help you find those answers will come to you, as long as you pay attention. So this is where meditation and regulating your nervous system comes in. When we did our healing last year for healing the brain from PTSD, we were also healing the nervous system. And that's what came next, is healing the nervous system from PTSD. What's going on with a lot of people, there's been a lot of stuff coming up that people have been asking me about, or I've been coming across. Like, people are wanting to know how to have stronger orgasms. It's been a lot of people reporting weak orgasms. These are spiritual infections. A lot of times you need to be celibate. If your orgasms are weak, or you're not really able to get the same type of pleasure that you are used to, or that you want to get, you probably have incurred some type of spiritual infection in your field, because sex spirits are the most common kind of spirits, especially for sex workers. Any bad bitch period, you're 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with a spiritual infection, it's a sex spirit that's drawn to your sexual energy. We are regridding our energy bodies and our fields to align with the crystalline diamond grid of Earth. It's a crystalline grid. There's crystals in the earth shaped in a grid. This is so divine. Sacred geometry is the governance of all nature, and that's why you see the same shape of a spiral that you see in a snail's shell, that you see in a seashell, that you see in a certain type of flower. Like, these patterns and these measurements are divine, and they're already existing. But we're having to remove ourselves from the matrix grid. It should be self-explanatory what that is. If you've seen the Matrix, you should understand what I'm saying. If you haven't seen the Matrix, definitely watch it. Okay, so this is why it sometimes feels so hard to do what we're trying to do, because you're not just doing, okay, how do I put this? You're basically hacking through a forest. You're making your own lane. When you're doing your own thing and you're not operating on that grid of the matrix, and you're not trading your bodily autonomy and your sovereignty for $1, and for the promise of material comfort, but when you're really just actively making your own way for yourself and making those decisions for yourself of where you want to go, autonomous of a planned or a predetermined path, you're gonna work harder, and it's more rewarding, and the results of your efforts are more long-lasting, long-term, and they're more beneficial as an inheritance to your coming future descendants. Okay, let me say that again. These gains are more beneficial in the long term, generationally, than going the easy way through the matrix. Y'all give me, does this make sense? Talk to me. Talk to me. Let me know, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, because we are having a conversation, but mostly I'm really just channeling this. So don't think I know all this stuff. A lot of this I do know. This is stuff that I know, that I've learned, but a lot of the information that comes through when I'm doing these readings is just channeled. I can't know it. It's in the divine. Okay, so Dark Goddess Guidance from DT, talking about revenge. When they are beaten, some people will just give up or turn and walk away, but not you. You seek revenge. But right now, it is getting to the point where it will consume you rather than give you the strength to rise above the actions of those who have wronged you. A broken heart will not mend by inflicting that pain onto others. It will just remain broken for longer. True story. Falsehoods spoken have left you raw, but the desire to add to those lies are a knee-jerk reaction and will only make things worse. DT, who reigns over so many, asks you to think twice. Her acts of revenge backfired, and she is warning you of doing the same. Take the high ground and remove yourself from a situation or relationship that will only shatter your dreams once more. Be the better person. Forgive and move on. Show the world you are so much more than a victim of circumstance. Baby. Yes. Hacking through my system with machete. That's right. Holy shit, I needed to hear this. Oh wow, this is so powerful. I'm in awe. I'm glad that y'all are here. Was thinking about this earlier. Yep, can confirm. So resonant. Okay, those emojis are so cute. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Oh, good. I'm glad y'all feeling this. Yes. We are so used to having to fight for everything that we get. It can be confusing when that's not the way anymore. Don't get me wrong. I am all for self-defense and self-determination, even when that necessitates violence. I'm a Palestinian, so you should already know. However, we have an energy budget. Okay, listen to that song, Energy Budget by Tony Jones. We have an energy budget. If you spent all your energy fighting and getting revenge with your enemy, you run the risk of not having the energy that you need to pour into your creations and build that which will sustain you. We're breaking a lot of generational curses with this work, because we've seen the alternative and it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's just not worth it. This is a different type of revenge that we're seeking, and the revenge of living well. Virgo season is the perfect time to implement these changes that are going to line us up with that type of revenge. Just sort of pulling your energy back in, pulling it back into yourself. Virgo, like Gemini, is ruled by Mercury, so they have the gift of communication. But Virgo keeps their communication more to themselves than Gemini does. And it's a great time to be introspective and go within. Also, because a lot of people are getting really petty and annoying. I don't know about y'all, but it's like the internet has just been a whole nother level of just annoying lately. And it's just like filtering through all the bullshit. Like, you got to really carefully curate your spaces, all of them. Your home space, your mental space, your physical space, meaning your body, as well as your internet space and your energetic space. Like, because it's just, you don't want to get stupider by the shit that you consume. You want to get smarter. Okay, and you really want to watch when you're in a theta state. So for me, personally, the way I talk, it just kind of like, especially when I'm on here and I'm like, if I'm like bitching or ranting or something, then my voice sounds different. But when I'm on here speaking to y'all in this type of cadence, I'm basically, my voice can lull you into a theta state with your brainwaves. And so you just want to be conscious of, like, when you're in that theta state, what you're taking in. Like, for example, like, when you first wake up, you're likely in a theta state. So I do this all the time, so I'm not like judging you guys, but if as soon as you wake up, you go straight to your phone and you just start pouring straight into your mind everything that everybody else is thinking and saying and needing and being and wanting and doing, then you're just kind of overwhelming yourself and your very impressionable mind in that state. So you want to be careful about stuff like that, and there's just so much out there right now that's like trying to play on your weaknesses and trying to play on like your deepest desires and your imagination. For example, for a lot of people, socialized femme, socialized as girls and women, like the way that we've been brainwashed around relationships does us a huge disservice, because it basically primes us to always abandon ourselves and abandon our passions in pursuit of Prince Charming, like in pursuit of someone else who's been sent to save us from ourselves. And that's the way that the patriarchy is set up. You know, it took us out of our temples, away from, you know, our kingdoms, our queendoms and things, and it put us in subservient positions within a household. And when you look at the way that households are structured and the way that communities are structured now versus the indigenous methods of structuring communities, you will see that these are basically factories for sexual abuse to occur in. Because the lie is that rape happens from a stranger, sexual violence happens from a stranger. The truth and the reality that we know is that sexual violence most often takes place within families, within the home, between husbands and wives and partners and parents and children. And so within the context of the Matrix, it really looks like a kind of like a milking factory for, like, you know, I'm not going to go all the way out there with you guys, but if you believe in intergalactic colonization, then you already know what I'm talking about. These energies are constantly being milked from us. Protecting your brain, protecting your mind, because that's how they get us. They've brainwashed us since birth. And so these systems know how to get to us, and they know how to play upon our weaknesses. So I would be very careful about these twin flame readings and these romance readings. I watch them too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not no different like than anybody else. I'm just some bitch. I'm just some bitch on the internet. I'm just some bitch with the iPhone. I still have issues. Like, don't think that just because I'm preaching that I'm just above it all. But please be conscious of these things, because we need more creativity from our community, not less. We need more of us putting stuff out there, not always just consuming it and listening to it from other people. And then when you do want to listen to things from other people, I really recommend having your trusted sources, the people that you are comfortable with having them talk to you when you know that their voice is soothing and you might go into a theta state by listening to them. Because I promise you guys, like, I'm constantly examining myself for any ways that I could potentially like spread any energy to anybody that is something that I wouldn't want to. And we have to like understand that that's just going to be a constant thing, and that we're all capable of like harming others. We're all capable of being narcissistic. We're all capable of being in our egos. We're all capable of, you know, flipping the script on somebody, being one way and then flipping on them. We're all capable of showing different sides because we're human and we have different sides. And you know, when you put others on a pedestal, it just takes away from your own divinity and their own divinity too. There's nobody out that's better than you. This is big Virgo energy. Y'all know Virgos tend to be extremely confident, and if they're not confident, then everybody's gonna pay. Do not be around an unconfident Virgo. Don't ever like let a Virgo have one up on you. Don't ever let a Virgo have one up on you, and don't ever like let them like, don't be vulnerable with an unconfident Virgo, because they're gonna make their insecurities your problem. That it's a lot of petty energy. Like, Virgos are very critical. They always got something to say. Why are you wearing that? You should wear it this way. You should like, if you ever been close with a Virgo, you know that they do it out of love. But criticism does not equal love. So remember that with yourself, and then remember that with other people too, because there's this tendency to want revenge for things that other people are doing, yet you also do those things. There's a lot of unfair expectations that people are putting on other people to like know everything, be everything, do everything, have all the answers, but you don't. So why you expect somebody else to? And opening up to receive what people have to offer instead of being closed off because they're not offering what you think they should offer is going to benefit you right now. Hold on, you guys. Excuse me. I sometimes get a lot of spit in my mouth when I'm talking. All right, I want to see what y'all talking about. I've been in total revenge mode. From the river to the sea, Ashe. Palestine will be free. Affirm life, Ashe. So Her Hamad, the poet, teaches us to affirm and carry each other. Yes, my hero. I love her. Not your exotic erotic. I have a poem that I used one of her lines in my poem as a homage to her. Not your erotic, exotic, arm candy, tan Barbie. Not the bitch you imagine me to be. I'm nothing like the girl you used to see. And you, no different from any other woman or man. First you love me, then you hate me, then you love me again. You gotta know yourself at this time. This is a chance for you to really know yourself. Facts. All I see is facts. This is time for you to really know yourself. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And just like feel cute and feel cool and confident. Feel good about you. You deserve it. Spoil yourself. I've been doing lots of self-care because I just have been feeling really shitty. Just trying to give my power away. Trying to, act like I'm afraid to use it. Trying to reject all these blessings that has been pouring into my lap. And just, all of it just because I just didn't feel good enough. I just didn't feel good enough. And right now, it's so many people running from themselves. They're running from themselves into literally anything. All these people think that being vaccinated is a personality. I don't know who needs to hear this. Did my waist beads just break? I don't know what just happened, but I don't know who needs to hear this, but being vaccinated is not a personality. And it's just so annoying because people have so many fucking opinions. I'm like, you know what I want to know about? I don't care about your opinion about regurgitating some dumbass shit that somebody else said to you that you're now repeating because you think it sounds smart. But I wonder, what shadow work have you been doing? What have your shadows been having to say to you about all this? When you had to be quarantined, what did that teach you? What darkness came up inside of you, and how did you handle it? Or did you just binge watch everything and bypass everything? I wonder. Y'all, people think that zombie movies and apocalypse movies are entertainment. No, that is predictive programming. Predictive programming is essentially how entertainment and mass media teaches you to think. So for a lot of people, when there's things that are existing outside of their predictive programming, they're not able to comprehend it at all. So that's why people are showing even more how stuck in their ways and stuck in the rut of their mindset that they are. The idea of, hey, when spirit sends you a message and you just like, huh? Like you see something and you're just like, huh? Wow, that was crazy. Labradorite transmuted my shit. I love Labradorite. Labradorite is like the #1 crystal that all hoes need, because if you want an invisibility cloak, bitch, get you some Labradorite and carry that with you. It was a hotel that I used to love to work at, and I felt so comfortable every time I checked in because their counter was made from Labradorite, and I just knew I would always be safe there. And once they installed a camera right in front of the door to the room that I used to always book, I never went back. And that changed everything. And that was like some years ago for me. So ever since then and that time period in my life, I've been slowly transitioning from being a sex worker, a full-time sex worker, to being someone who provides spiritual support and mentoring and community and organizes events and special things for sex workers. I'm an advocate for us. It's very special. I'm a holistic healing advocate because I know how much we need it. It's really special to do this. And then I also help other people who want to do this too. Because one of the reasons why I promote spiritual healing to sex workers is because we are naturals at it. And not only that, but there's actually room for a lot of us to leave this adult industry if we want to and go full-time into spiritual healing arts. It's so close to what we've already been doing in so many ways that it's a very smooth and easy transition. And I always knew that all this shit would happen. I always knew that all this shit would happen. I always knew that shit was going to change. I always knew that bitches needed to start doing their shadow work, and exploring other options for employment and income. And I was actually fortunate to have to do that myself back in 2014, before Backpage shut down, before Sesta Fosta, before all this, these payment processors dropping us and, banks freezing our accounts and stuff. Like, yeah, that used to happen back then, but not like how it does now. And I knew the whole time, I knew that the reason why I was going through what I was going through was so that I could help other people later on when they started going through the same thing. And it's like, I was talking to my Reiki teacher earlier, and she was saying, she was talking about Noah building the ark. Because right now I do these detoxes, and I've been doing these detoxes ever since 2014, when I was experiencing what I was telling you guys about, when I had to start leaving the industry and I couldn't work the same that I used to. I've been doing these detoxes. It's 40 days and 40 nights spiritual detox challenge. And if you're in the app, or if you join the app, then you have access to a free 40 days and 40 nights spiritual detox challenge guide that just guides you through how to change your life in 40 days and how to manifest your greatest dreams, starting with 40 days. Now, it might take longer, okay? So it depends on how close you are, how far away you are, because when we set big intentions for healing, whatever's in the way of that has got to go first. It's easy to manifest something that's like, already like really close to you, but it's more challenging if you're trying to manifest something that you don't have a lot of experience with. Like if you've always had abusive relationships and you want to manifest a healthy relationship, it's not going to be an overnight process. It takes a lot of time, healing, shadow work, looking at yourself, ego deaths, things that happen. They'll look like a mental breakdown, but it's not a mental breakdown. It's a breakthrough. It's a spiritual breakthrough. And all you got to do on those nights or days where you feel so low and you feel like you just can't take it anymore, all you got to do is just make it to the next day. I feel like the worst that I've ever felt was a contrast to how much better I felt after I got past those moments. And there's always a deep soul integration. You can't be afraid of those feelings. You deserve true joy, and that comes from being honest with yourself, real about everything that you feel. And it doesn't come from pointing the finger at somebody else, making someone else the villain, or getting revenge on somebody else. A lot of y'all will notice that when you try to get revenge nowadays, it won't really hit the same. Like, it won't really feel that good. I'm not against revenge. Like, you know, if somebody has wronged you, I'm not against revenge. I'm just saying that we are more supported when we use our energy to build things for ourselves. And we really got to trust that a lot of that revenge will get handled on its own. And then a lot of times we try to force karma, or we try to like basically take our karma from where we think it's supposed to come from and control the situation to make it fit our need for revenge and validation. But it's not our place. It's not our place. We're basically just wasting our time. And right now the fighting style is like a very cold one and a very intellectual one that's just basically using words. So really, like, let yourself have that. Like, don't shy away from an argument. When someone says some dumbass shit to you, like, you can respond cleanly, coldly, and concisely, and let them know what the fuck is up. Because there's a lot of buried words, and and people in the spiritual community love to, like, basically, it's like basically turn the other cheek 2.0, you know, and all they want to talk about is love and light. And bitch, get the fuck out of here with that shit. No, no, because you don't love and light away a genocide. You don't love and light away, like, you're murdering my people. That's not, no. It's just a tactic and a tool of oppression. So those energies thrive on your silence and internalizing that to mean something about you. So you really want to examine your stories right now, the stories that you tell yourself. For example, once I have a really good story that I tell myself that's like, the thing about it, though, is that there's some truth to it. But how is it serving me to keep repeating this story? Because my story is that, like, nobody cares about Arab people. They don't care about us. Okay, there's very valid reasons why I would think that, right? But what good is it doing me if I assume that everyone I come into contact with, like, can't love me, can't trust me, can't fuck with me, can't support me, because that they just can't do that for Arab people? Like, I'm really selling myself short. I feel emotional just saying that. I'm really selling myself short. And it's not fair to me. So I really want us to all question those internalized beliefs that we have. You know, another one like that people have is like, no one can love me, you know, or I'm too crazy. Like, this is a good one that strippers and sex workers always have. I'm too crazy to do anything else. How is that serving you? Now, there's always a reason why we tell ourselves these things. It does serve us in some capacity, but is that the capacity that we want to be served in? Do we need that protection? Do we need that monster under our bed to stay with us, protecting us in these ways? Or can we have a little more freedom of movement that will enable us to expand and be more? It's not about doing more, it's about being more. And that more is more you. You are so deeply lovable. You are made to be loved. You are so cute. I love you. I wish I give you a hug right now. I wish I could give you a hug right now. Let that be an affirmation. I am so deeply lovable. I was made to be loved. I am made to be loved. I'm made to be loved. And, you know, don't keep yourself away from the people and places and experiences that can love you. Because, like, that's another addiction a lot of us struggle with, is like looking at the past, looking at who's left us behind, instead of like looking at who we are right now and what a bad bitch we are, and how much friends is around us and loved ones, and you know how much good energy is around us right now. The fact that we even were able to like get free from some of these fucking people in our past is a huge blessing. So stop making it mean something about you. Stop making it mean that you're not lovable or that people can't love you just because people in the past did you wrong and did you dirty. I filmed something about betrayal yesterday. I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel for you guys. So just make sure you're subscribed to Sacred Stripper on YouTube. But I filmed a video about betrayal. And one of the things that I was saying in the video was like, that without, like, there can be no betrayal from others without self-betrayal. So for anybody to be able to betray you, like, I know a lot of people aren't going to like what I'm saying, but in order for someone to be able to betray you, you must have had to have betrayed yourself first. I'm not talking about like your parents or like, you know, people that, you know, I'm not talking about a lot of different situations, but I am talking about certain specific situations that are like codependent scenarios. Like, because when you sacrifice yourself for somebody else, they're always going to betray you, because there's no possible way that they can do anything to repay you for sacrificing yourself. And they're probably like not going to even try. So what's really heavily indicated here is not to betray ourselves. It's to set our boundaries, and create situations in which we won't really like, we won't need to get revenge, because we won't have, the stakes aren't so high, like we won't have lost so much. I know exactly what you mean. Just went through it. Yeah, I just went through it too. Yeah. So you guys I'm not gonna repeat all the stuff that I said in that video. You guys just gotta watch it. As soon as I get off this, I'll upload that to YouTube. But yeah, because it's a lot of people out here that will love to use you in order to hide from their inner demons and their inner like shadows, their inner shadow self. Especially if you're like, you know, a shadow worker, if you were, you know, an underworld goddess embodied. Yeah. And you can't let them use you, because I had recently gone through like, you know, a friend breakup, and, you know, just dealing with some like typical like mean girls type of stuff with some people, which I always find funny, because it's like, you know, you're a bad bitch when motherfuckers cannot take you on one-on-one. They gotta gang up on you, and phone a friend to even deal with like how they even feel about you. Like it's like, if you can't make a decision about what you even think about me without needing a cosign from a friend, yeah, like, just stay far away from me, because I don't need that in my life. And I was all sad because it hurt my feelings, like, and I was speaking about it with my Reiki teacher. I have a close relationship with my Reiki teacher. She's a friend, you know, she's a friend. And she was telling me, you don't have time to talk to those people anyways. So it's a good thing that they don't want to fuck with you. But it's true. Like, it's like, if a lot of us weren't so busy running from our passion and running from our purpose, we wouldn't even have time to deal with these ain't shit ass people. Let that sink in. And don't let this Virgo season pass you by without deeply committing to your purpose and your practice. Hey, YouTuber. This is so cool. I love this. Don't let the season pass you by, because for a lot of y'all, you can make huge gains. For some of y'all, they will be financial gains. You'll be able to easily come into like large sums of money in this season. And for others of you, it won't necessarily be a financially gainful season yet, but it's the alchemy occurring that will set the stage for that. Okay. So just be patient with yourself and your process. Things take as long as they take. And what we are needing right now is a whole dismantling and defragmentation of the occult holds on our money. We're only like, okay, so there's occult laws of money, and really rich people know them. Okay, cool, good, yes. See, it's good. I'm on different platforms because IG it said I had to switch from IG. It kept dying on me. Now you're on YouTube. This is so great. Like, it's no reason to. I heard somebody say, some like a coach online say, if you're gonna make content, put that shit everywhere. And I feel like a lot of us, like especially myself, like I constantly underestimate my content and my abilities to create content, because like I have like hours and hours, probably like days and months of footage and recordings and stuff, and just to put that shit everywhere, and I think a lot of times we get shy. We don't want to, we don't want it out there too much. But literally, if you're going to take the time to show up and create something, like create something that you're confident in, that you don't mind it being seen by whoever is going to see it, because like shit goes viral. A lot of shit goes viral that people were not expecting it to. And you shit ass people, indeed. Yes, you guys know how I talk. So use this season to get clear on your goals. And I really recommend this 40 days and 40 nights spiritual detox challenge, because I've been really hardcore with it. So I've been abstaining from alcohol, weed, sex work. I'm not gonna act like it's been 100% perfect. But if you are in the app, you can find out more about that. Because I used to come up on here and spill all my tea, but no, now, if you want the true tea, you got to go to the app to get it. It just is what it is. I can't be out here like that. I'm feeling called to pull a magical message from the Fairies Oracle deck. Oh, if anybody wants to spoil me and give me a gift that I will really love, it would be the Butterfly Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, because I used to have this deck and I gave it to somebody's little sister. And that deck is now out of print and worth over $100. And it's just it's a really great deck. So if anybody ever wants to give me a gift, give me that deck. I gave away a lot of my tarot decks, and there were some that I just loved so much that I bought again, like the Ostara deck. I gave the Ostara deck to my friend's daughter when she turned 13. I hope she still has it. I wonder if she does. I need to ask her. But I had to buy that deck for myself again because I love that deck so much. Because Doreen Virtue ain't with it no more. Yeah, she's now a devotee of Jesus. She was always into Jesus. I loved when that lady used to do her oracle readings every week from her farm. she had an animal rescue farm. Like, she would show up wearing these like beautiful fairy dresses, and she was just so nice and so happy. And then all of a sudden, she renounced all of it. She said if you have any of her books or her tarot decks, burn them. And she became a born again Christian. And she says things like, you can look up her videos on YouTube. She says things like, Reiki, why does it take so long? Jesus didn't take so long to heal people. He laid hands and that was it. I'm like, bitch, I ain't Jesus. He's Palestinian, so am I, but I'm not there yet. He had a totally open heart chakra. I haven't even had kids yet. My heart chakra is not that open. But it's just crazy because I can totally see why that lady would go that way. It's very hard out here. You got to guard your mind, and people don't understand what's going on. A lot of people don't understand what's going on. I can't wait to you know what I'm talking about. I can't wait to get my Reiki class out there for you guys, because like literally every time anybody comes to me with any problem, or if I'm like scrolling the timeline and I'm like seeing people dealing with different stuff, I'm like, Reiki, like this will help with that, this will help with that, this will help with that. But again, it's that grid. Like, is your Reiki on the matrix grid, or is it on the crystalline earth grid? As soon as I said that, it starts glitching. So you got to make sure. You got to check in with yourself and make sure. I heard she got an entity or attachment. Yeah, it seemed that way. I think that like she probably like got spiritually attacked. I always felt off about her, not because of Jesus, but she just rubbed me the wrong way, laughing my ass off. She was like a freaking fairy godmother. She was always talking about rescuing animals and about her husband Michael, and then I believe they ended up getting a divorce. Maybe it was all him. Like, I don't know. Like, don't catch me like lying on this man. I don't know him, but it just seems so strange how everything went down. I've gone through crazy shit with this spiritual thing, you guys. Like, it's not a game. It's not a joke. And there's a lot more to it, especially when you're publicly teaching about it. But people always want to be like, you know, almost like reverse glorifying the struggle of putting yourself out there and like, you know, doing spiritual battle and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, like spiritual battle is real. I am a spiritual warrior. I've been out here. I've gotten to the place where I was very weary from battle, and that's why I started doing so much self-care in the past few months. Because you guys seen what I've been doing. If you've been following me, I worked all year on a campaign to decriminalize prostitution in Louisiana. I testified at the state capitol. So much battle, and I was so weary, and so I just took the summer off. I decided to start escorting again, because I knew that would be the right thing for me to do. I sort of just planned my summer out ahead of time, and I knew that I needed to take time off from like Heaven on Earth and teaching the classes and putting stuff out there for you guys, which you probably wouldn't even know that I've been taking a break, because this is what a break looks like to me. I still been beating up the internet and like putting stuff out there and still been taking clients, but just not as much as usual. And I've just been taking a lot more time just to sleep, rest, condition my hair, do a face mask, talk to friends, travel. I just needed that, you know. It's like I'm not going to glamorize or glorify any part of it. It's a lot of work when you're living your purpose and you're pursuing your passions and you're continuously like reinventing yourself so that you can go further and deeper. They're always going to come up with challenges. You're always going to come up with obstacles. A lot of people like to blame spiritual attacks as the reason why they don't do anything. Don't be like them. Don't be like them. Your spirituality, if you're a spiritual practitioner, you need your spirituality first. I've been seeing a lot of people do stuff like overextend themselves, and I've done it too, and then gotten upset when I was depleted, I was burnt out, I was broke. But with every action that we take, we're sending a message to the universe about what we expect and what we'll accept. So when you take time, money, and energy that you need away from yourself to give it to somebody else, you're sending a very clear message that that's what you expect and that's what you'll accept. And it becomes a snowball effect. It's acting up, LOL. I'm going over to YouTube. Yeah, somebody else had to do that too. Come on through. I just find it funny how it started acting up as soon as I started talking about the going off the matrix grid and going onto the crystalline grid. You guys got to be careful about that when you're doing your spiritual work and your energy work. And when you're masturbating, doing self-pleasure and having sex also, with whether it's like with a client or for work or for personal, because only you will know the unique energy signatures and different things that you're dealing with within your field. Everybody's energy body works differently, but for a lot of us that are sex workers, we are basically we're psychopomps, and our genetic makeup and our energetic makeup is different than regular human beings. We're closer to the brink of, like, we're on the brink. We're close to birth and we're close to death. We're very close to the underworld. We're very close to heaven. We're close with dead people. A lot of times we've been closer with dead people than we have been with live people. So our nervous systems are very sensitive and they can get very overwhelmed easily, which is why they've been having us, eat McDonald's and Captain Crunch and Frosted Flakes and watch blaring cartoons and, all this external stimuli since birth. It's designed to overwhelm our nervous systems. And then a lot of the foods and chemicals in the foods and in the water are designed to break down our glands, our endocrine system glands, and our nervous system. And that's not even counting all the trauma, okay? So co-regulation, because of the internet memes about healing, there's a lot of things that people are becoming aware of, which is so great. We're so lucky. So we learn about co-regulation, that in order for us to feel, hi, okay, this is a good card. So in order for us to feel like emotionally safe, we need to be able to co-regulate our nervous system with other people. And that way you don't have to feel fight or flight or freeze or fawn. When you're with people, you can just be free to be. Closer with the dead than the living. Yes. Yep. Facts. That shit is poison. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've been feeling my womb space being attacked. I feel like I need to stop watching porn right now for pleasure because there's so much trauma associated with it. Facts. That shit is poison. Yeah, like you guys can really tell the difference between porn made by a healer in a healing space, in a healing frame of mind, versus porn that is like not of that vibration. And when you're trying to heal your sexual energy, I recommend taking prolonged periods of celibacy where you're not having sex and you're not watching porn. And even if you are doing self-pleasure, you're not fantasizing. Like that's another thing too, because it's like it's great to use your orgasms to manifest, but that act of fantasizing can take you out of the moment and make you less grounded. So it's easy, it opens you up for entity attachments, and for your sexual energy to be siphoned away. When I was healing, when I first started like my sexual healing journey, I had to do a 22-day bath regimen. Every single day I had to do a bath with certain ingredients, and I had to cover my scalp with cascarilla. After I got out of the bath, I had to cover my scalp with cascarilla. And I had to say affirmations over my head to reclaim my head. And I was not allowed to masturbate or have sex at that time. And I would wrap my head in a white cloth and go to sleep. And it was really hard, and throughout like that whole year, I would explore celibacy and then explore partnering up. But I just didn't really have much of an interest in sex. I be getting so intimate with you guys. I be forgetting this is on the internet. I love this for me, honestly, from going from being like a sex worker, a webcam model, to like live streaming, talking about spiritual healing. I love this for me. I love this for me. And this is what we're in. This is the energy that we're in right now. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. She's pampering herself. She has her feet in a flower, She's crowned with beauty. You finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. MashaAllah. Because, it's been so hard for a lot of us to let go of our old identity. And I've been feeling very strongly all summer that the old me, this is the last hurrah for the old me. And that was one reason why I wanted to spend time escorting, and one reason why I went to stripper camp. And I even got hurt, somehow I had this sugar daddy fall into my lap real quick so I could have a whirlwind relationship with him. It's I'm going towards a new phase of my life where I'm not going to be doing those same things and having those same experiences. And it's a good thing. It makes me happy. It makes me feel good. And it's also bittersweet because I'm grieving the person that I used to be. She's still, she's still here, parts of her. But nobody tells you that part, It's you're just supposed to, okay, life gets better, yay. You got to prepare yourself for that. Otherwise, you'll reject it because it won't make sense and it won't fit with your energy. You won't be able to embrace it. It's taken me years since I started this process till now. That's 6 years later, 7 years later. It's been 7 years since 2014 when I started this project and this process. I started this process 7 years ago. I started doing the 40 days and 40 spiritual detox 7 years ago. I had no idea what it would grow into. I had no idea. But like my Reiki teacher was saying, Noah building the ark, it took him 40 years to build the ark. And they don't tell you that part. Everybody feels like they're supposed to accomplish everything that they're supposed to accomplish in 1 to 3 years. Okay, I'm back. All right, I'm back. I wonder if this is even working on IG because, can you guys hear me? Because it looks like a lot of people, but I think a few of y'all left and came to YouTube. So nobody ever tells you that you have to grieve the old you, and you have to like let her party one last time. But sometimes in those moments, then you remember why you're doing this and why you want to graduate to the next level and why you can't be the old you anymore because it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't make sense. And you didn't come all this way just to stay the same. Okay, good. Okay, good. You didn't come all this way just to stay the same. All right. I'll pull us one more card. I'm getting sleepy, so I'm gonna only be on here for a little while longer. I've been on here so far tonight for about an hour and 15 minutes. And so if you missed the beginning, you'll be able to watch the rest of it as soon as it posts. So I'm going to pull us another card from the New Orleans Oracle deck. Available at Path of Awakenings in New Orleans on Rampart Street in the French Quarter. I used to never shuffle my cards like playing cards, but now I do it all the time. I love it. I can't get enough of it. But the trick is to make the two piles facing the same way, because a lot of people fuck it up. I hate when other people shuffle my decks because they always like they want to take the card. They want to just like basically take the cards and shuffle them like this. So if you can see that, they shuffle them like this, but then they're going the wrong way. So you got to like turn them the other way so they're going the right way. Because I'm not trying to have all types of reversed cards in my deck. I do not like reversed cards. I don't feel like these are the cards. These are not the cards. Let me see. Like, I don't like when people try to be weird about energy, like, or about readings and stuff. Like, I hate it when people find out that I'm an energy reader, and as a way to hit on me, they try to be like, what is my energy telling you? Or how does my energy feel? Because I'm like, you know, that I do that for a living. Bro, you're going to have to pay me for that. I'm the worst. I pity the fool who would try to fuck with me and date with me, because you're gonna have to really have a thick skin and be all the way in your bag and really know how to handle a toxic sharmuta like me. I love myself. Self-care is the card. This is the card. Self-care is the move. It's the motive. It's the motive. Yes, exactly. Your energy. Like, what does my energy say? It says you're weird and you should leave me alone. It says you should transfer $5,000 to my account right now. La 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 la. Do your self-care. Don't let people get you off your square. Just be here now, be you, with you. You're gonna feel a lot better the better you look. Especially in Virgo season when everybody is so critical. One of the things, there's this thing called pretty privilege, which is so stupid, but it really does help you in a lot of areas of your life when you look your best because you feel your best. And a lot of times that's a way to feel better. And with Venus and Libra right now, like, this is just a vibe. We're seeking beauty. We want to feel beautiful. It goes for everybody. You don't have to be a woman or be a femme. You know, everybody can benefit from self-care, getting a line up, getting an edge up, getting a trim, doing a face mask, getting a facial, getting a massage, getting energy healing, getting a reading, pouring into yourself instead of trying to run away from yourself into other people. Codependency is a huge addiction. It's always so weird when there's people that's really trying to like that's on here like really trying to like get in my head and read me. That feels very weird. I don't like it. Um so don't do that. Don't do that because I'll tell you everything you need to know. And it's really weird on the internet too because a lot of people get infatuated with images that they see. This is how so many people get scammed. Like there's a huge thing going on within the spiritual healing community with a lot of readers where there's scammers impersonating different readers. And so there's these clients and customers that are getting caught up thinking that they're chatting with like their favorite readers, but you know that your favorite fucking reader did not just DM you and is having a conversation with you. You know that they're not, but people want to feel special. They want to feel that way. And so, guarding against delusion is very important. And understanding that nobody owes you an interaction, nobody owes you a thing, but you really owe yourself the world. You owe yourself to take care of yourself and to internalize your energy instead of always trying to externalize it. This is like a huge problem right now. The energy like between men and women or heterosexual men and women is very volatile right now. The energy coming, not just coming from men, but just like coming from the masculine in general, and anybody can have masculine energy within themselves. But the energy on Earth and in the world, this weird guy, like, it's like, why do men, you could just follow me silently and not say shit, but now I have to block you because you're saying and doing the most. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's very annoying when men come into these readings, like, trying to get a whole bunch of attention. Like, I just feel this guy's energy, like, he's trying to do the most. And he's getting really upset that I'm calling him out like this. Now I have to block this man. I don't even know him. I don't even know how he even got in here. Or found this shit. Wait a second. That ain't him. Yeah. I don't know how to do this. Somebody help me. I'm like, how the fuck do I boot this guy out of here? It's just, it's like, um, it's like trying to dominate others, trying to control others, trying to prove something to others, trying to make others have some type of meaning to you when they are not desiring to do that. And so you're trying to undermine their will. And men and women can do this. People of all genders can do this to other people. Nobody is immune. But it's a struggle between the masculine energy and the feminine energy, because it's the masculine energy within us, whatever gender you are. It's that masculine energy within you that is trying to control and dominate and secure and like find some type of sense of meaning, whereas the feminine energy is very comfortable just falling back into the abyss and floating in the abyss and doesn't need to oh, I see. Okay. Like, what the hell? All right. Yeah, because, like, it's like weird. Like, okay. It's like weird. Hey. But the feminine energy is comfortable being creative, being in her own zone, in her own space, and just like, letting her creations come up. No, I'm using a app called StreamYard to stream on here, so I don't know how to block somebody from here. And then I was trying to go to my Facebook to find this person and block them, but they're not coming up. And there's always like 100. Like right now, I have 44 friend requests from like strange men who I don't know. There's always like like I don't know how they find me, but there's always tons of friend requests from guys, and a lot of times I'll approve some of them if they like, if they seem cool. It's just so weird. It's just so iffy. I've been really working on healing relationship with men and towards men because it's important to me. Like, it's important to me to have to not go into my dealings with people from a traumatized mindset. But there's also, just the fact that like so many guys act in such a way. It's just like with white people. It's just like with any group that is like, puts themselves as the dominant group. There's just so many ways that they have, like, that many of those people of that group have, that infringe on others. And like I said, like, we can all be guilty of it. Like, I have ways of infringing on other people that I'm always checking for and questioning, because I'm not trying to infringe on nobody. But a lot of times people do it without knowing, because that's part of their socialization. Self-care, like, for a lot of us, we don't know how to care for ourselves. We only know how to care for other people. And like, it's like, if you know that you're gonna have company, like, say that there's somebody that you want to fuck and you want to have them over. It's a lot easier to clean your house if that's the case than if it's just for you. Am I right? Am I right? Like, that's not everybody, but for a lot of us, like, a lot easier to do something for somebody else than it is to do it for ourselves. So at this time, that's what's really indicated here, is doing things for yourself, looking good for yourself, keeping your home clean and organized for yourself, doing your hair and makeup and dressing well for yourself, not for who you're going to attract or who's going to see you. And of course, in that vibration, you have the best potential to attract the best outcome and to be seen in the best light. And you really deserve that. Like, you don't need to be out here scraggly and scrimping and scrapping. You just don't. You just don't. You know, and then on the bottom of the deck, we have Speak Your Truth. 22, Speak Your Truth. And this is what I was saying earlier, is there's a mass backlog of unspoken words in your throat chakra that needs to come out. So it can be really hard. It can be challenging. Even when you're doing it, it might not even sound like your voice. It might hurt. The words might not want to come out. Just keep running your mouth. And sometimes stuff that you don't think is okay to say might come out. But that's literally how they get you. That's literally how they get you, is they make you put a filter on yourself and deem some of your thoughts and words as good and some as bad. And so you don't want to express the ones that you think are bad. You only want to express the ones that you think are good. But you need to express both because it's your expression. I'm there right now, deeper than I usually am. I'm literally deep cleaning my house after working right now. Good. I was thinking of cleaning. Yes. Yeah, it's the perfect time. Virgo season, you know, and then it's the Aries. The moon is in Aries right now, so that's like a lot of extra firepower to get you going. And then, you know, in a couple days when the moon goes into Taurus, you're probably going to feel more like staying home and being cozy, and then you'll have a nice clean space to be in. It'll feel really good. I have been sharing about my minor sexual traumas. That's good. It's good to get it off your chest. Okay, I'm gonna stay on for a little longer. Because I just feel like there's some more messages that want to come out for us. So again, you guys, make sure you take advantage of their free resources. Our guide to healing from adult industry sexual abuse, sexual assault. Even if you experience sexual assault in a different capacity, not in the industry, you can still use this as a guide for healing. And even if, you know, you can still use our intuitive screening guide, even if you're not a sex worker, but you're just out here dating, or maybe you're freestyling or something, it's going to help you with that. Like, I just find it funny how I don't have to, like, it's like, okay, I could be walking down the street and get propositioned by somebody that wants to pay me for sex. I don't have to be a sex worker to still be classified as a sex worker and lumped in with sex workers. And I think that's why I don't really care. Like, if a lot of people feel like they should gatekeep certain words, like that, unless you're a sex worker, a full service sex worker, or, you know, taking it further, unless you're a Black full service sex worker, that you shouldn't use the word hoe. Or like, if you're not a full service sex worker, you shouldn't use the word whore. And I don't feel that way about that language, because it's a lot of people classified as hoes and whores and sluts that have never worked in the industry, that are children. Like, let's be real about it. So I don't feel that way about it. Anybody can get called a hoe. And so, like, I initially, when I started out, I was like, yeah, this is for sex workers. If you're not a sex worker, keep it pushing. But I've evolved since then in my mentality about it, and I see how much, like, civilian hoes need us to show them the way. And they actually, like, can benefit a lot from being in community with us and just learning what we know about sexual safety and healing after sexual assault. And I'm okay with that. Like, if you fucking with me, I'm fucking with you. Don't forget to upload the video about betrayal, please. I will. Yes, moon goes into Taurus in a couple of days. It's an app that I have called Time Passages, and I really like that app because it tells me what moon, like what sign the moon is in. I don't look at sidereal astrology. I look at regular astrology, but I think sidereal astrology is pretty cool because Illy Be Silly posted something recently um, that was talking about how she's transitioning between regular astrology, which I guess is called tropical astrology, and then sidereal astrology. And so that happened between Leo season and Virgo season. So because she was in tropical astrology in Leo season, she switched to sidereal, so it's still Leo season, but tropical astrology is in Virgo season. So it's like, you're kind of, if we're going back and forth between those two, you're kind of getting like a double dose of every energy, and you can carry that energy with you. And I do really feel like because we had so much ego death in Leo season, we didn't really get to talk our shit and really feel ourselves the way that we normally would want to in Leo season. The ego deaths were a good thing. Now we're in Virgo season. It's like, it's a whole nother level of feeling yourself to where you don't even need to talk your shit because your energy just speaks for itself. Hey, beautiful. It's nice to see you too. So let's see what these cards have to say. Yeah, exactly. This says everything. So the Princess of Cups, she was socialized to wait for her Prince Charming, let life pass her by, do everything for everybody else, and just wait for her Prince Charming to rescue her. But guess what, though? He never came. And she got tired of waiting. So she left that unhealthy situation behind and reframed her mentality and became the King of Pentacles herself. Stop playing with me. What? She became the King of Pentacles. Who's the King of Pentacles? He's rich. He's the King of Coins. Who's the Princess of Cups? She's just a maiden. She's just a sad maiden waiting for direction, not knowing which way to go, only basing her worth and her reality on what everybody else needs, wants, and expects of her. She took a sip of reality and got real clear on her own motivations and her own desires. And she was like, yeah, I could sit and wait for you right here, but it's hurting me. I'm already sad. This life isn't what I thought it would be. I'm constantly having to sacrifice myself, put my needs to the side, do things for you, but what about me? Give everything I have to you, but what are you giving me? Do you even know how to love me? Do you even want to? Do you even want to learn how? Do you care at all? Because you left me here by myself for so long that I finally figured out how to fend for myself, and it made me a savage. And I'd rather stay married to the money than stay married to you because you're not giving me what I need. And at any time that I want to, I can renegotiate a contract. I don't care if I signed it in blood. Because that's my signature, that's my name. It's the contract that I made, the covenant that I agreed to. And when it's no longer serving me, I can go back and revisit and revise. So we're reversing a long-standing generational curse where women in our lineage, in our families, were not they were not able to have their own wealth or their own dreams. This is our revenge. Becoming the King of Pentacles is our revenge. And it's not the materialistic side of the King of Pentacles where he's just way too concerned with how things look and how much they cost. It's the stable, secure, solid, healed, grounded, healed father wound, masculine energy emanating from within us. You know, because a lot of people will try to tell you that you can't be feminine and be masculine, but you have to be both. You have both energies within you. And if your masculine energy is not strong, then your feminine energy is not strong either. They balance each other and they complement each other. And the only way to create a protective environment for the feminine energy within you to thrive and to shine is with that masculine core of stability, strength, coins, grounding, staying solid on your square. This is so on point, girl. Wow, 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 wow. God has told me to come to this for a reason. This is so seriously spot on accurate. It's just what I do. It's just what I do. At a certain point, it's like, see, I'm really good at this. And when you're good at a lot of things, it can be hard to decide what to do. And it can be very seductive to stay with the things that has brought you wealth in the past, even when all signs point to a radical shift and transformation of your whole entire life. It's so many burdens that we're releasing right now. Oh, wow, you guys. Okay, so I just have so many things to share with you. I'm going to post the Virgo season reading from last year on my Patreon. I might post it in the app too. I really want to go back and watch it because I feel like it's going to give us a lot of good insight and good guidance. I'm also offering contract clearing sessions where I teach you how to use energy healing and spiritual healing to clear and renegotiate contracts, even contracts from past lives. I'm focused more on teaching than healing, as far as like intensive healing sessions, because we all need to be able to be empowered to do these things for ourselves and not have to rely on someone else to do them for us. And the King of Pentacles is really confident in his abilities. He's not worried about external validation. You have to get on his vibration for this next phase of your life to play out. Because it's going to take as long as it takes for you to get there. So don't waste your time. Don't make yourself take longer than you need to by still holding on to old, outdated habits and codependent patterns. You finished one part of your life and a new and even better part is emerging, is beginning. Who else has been pulling the Tower card a lot up until now? The Tower moment has already happened. Truth. I left his ass. Shedding patriarchy. That part. We're only lining up with divine partnerships now. So any energy of like I'm just using him to get this, or I'm using her for this. No, you will not want to be involved in these type of scenarios. They have to be mutually beneficial for real. You can't be sacrificing yourself or betraying yourself for it to work. Yes, and then 10 of Pentacles, generational wealth. So it's a really clear message from our ancestors that, like, love will come, love will go, people will come, people will go. The generational wealth that you built lasts forever. It lasts forever because it creates a climate in which every one of your descendants and those backwards and forwards throughout space and time in your bloodline get to rest and relax. And look, it's a house, it's a structure, it's a tree, it's the beginnings of an orchard, it's the beginnings of a compound. Okay, it's very sweet. The 10 of Pentacles is generational wealth. It is long-term financial stability without having to attach yourself to a falsehood. Wow, okay, so I just wanted to pull some more cards, even though I wasn't planning to. So what happens next? We have the 10 of Pentacles, that generational wealth, and then we have the 6 of Staves. So, it's almost like our princess from the Princess of Cups, she left the unhealthy situation and she rode into her own sovereignty. She's recognized for her gifts. She's showing up. Everybody's like, ooh, who's that? Who's that girl? Who's that baddie? Who's that goddess? She's fine. Damn, look at how she walks. Look at how she talks. They're seeing that inner you, that confidence shining through. And from that place, boom, 2 of Cups, reciprocal relationship. That's reciprocity. That's love, real love, romantic love, the sweetest love. It happens when you're already being honored for your accomplishments. It makes it that much sweeter because you don't have to sacrifice anything. You get to have it all. Why? Because you're magic. Isis comes through with the magician card. You're magic. She is a warrior for us. We know Sekhmet is the warrior goddess, but Isis is a warrior in a different way. She creates space for us to heal from our sexual trauma and make the most delicious love with the divine partners that can really fulfill us. Your nervous system right now, like for some people, there's like been a problem with weak orgasms or low libido, and a lot of it is because your nervous system just can't take that much pleasure right now. So you want to work yourself up to it, and imagine, use your imagination, use your self-touch, use your breath, use your Reiki, and ooh, I felt that, and let that healing flow through you, and let it happen on a soul level and on a nervous system level, so that while you go through this process, you can build your capacity to receive more and more love and more amazing sex. Sex is part of love. For you know, if you're asexual, you know, just disregard this part. But for those people who are sexual, or who desire sex in some capacity, even if it's not a lot, your sexual expression, those moments are magic, and it's a lot of magic that can come from them. And your energy deserves to be protected, because guaranteed, if you don't know what to do with it, it's some entity out there that does. So always call energy back to you, always reclaim it and let yourself use it. And then use your familiars and your spirit guides to protect you, protect that space. All right, healers. This has been a beautiful reading. So check out heavenonearthreiki.org for more. Follow me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is called Sacred Stripper ASMR. Follow me on Instagram at hoesarehealers, at Sacred Stripper, at Mejnuni Confessions. On Twitter at Sacred Stripper, at hoesarehealers. We have a hoesarehealers page on Facebook too, you can follow. And of course, if you want to join a supportive spiritual community centering sex workers and survivors, head to heavenonearthreiki.org and join our app. It is a private space where we can connect with one another. I also have some one-on-one sessions, like I was telling you guys about the teaching session for clearing contracts. So take advantage of the free resources on the website also, and that's it. Just stay plugged in and stay tuned. Peace, masalama, and thank you for being here.